and a constraint to what we can do. But we've told everybody right from the beginning that collection of cards by proxy is not permitted. And the simple reason why we said there should be no collection by proxy, even though it meant less and less people would collect their cards, is because we know in our own context, once you formalize collection by proxy, then politicians and other people will arrange syndicates to be collecting cards. And so we have ensured that in our rules and regulations, collection by proxy is not permitted. But we are doing everything possible to ensure that any registered person on the register has his card or her card before the date of the election. As I speak with you, excuse me, as I speak with you, there are 68.8 million people on our register. We have already produced over 67 million of these, actually over 67.8 million of these cards, which have been taken to the states. So, but the level of collection, as I speak with you, nationwide, is about 56%. So,
56 million.
Sorry, 56 million. The level of collection is about 56 million out of this 68.8 million. So there are millions of cards out there that have been there that people have not gone out to collect. Meanwhile, there is under a million, maybe just about 700,000 cards that have not yet been produced. Now, if we get to the 28th of this month and those cards have not been produced and made available for people to collect, we will be the first people to admit that we have disenfranchised those people.
No.
But if you produce cards and make them available and people do not come to collect them, you cannot talk of INEC disenfranchising those people. I say this so that I can address the question of percentage. You said, INEC said, if 65%, actually we said 67. If 67% of the people had collected their cards before February 14th, we believed it is not good, it can be better, but we believed an election could have taken place. And obviously, now we have had an opportunity for more people to collect their cards. But people are forgetting. When we did election in Ekiti and in Oshun, the collection rate was barely 65%. We had elections there. As I speak with you in Ekiti State, the collection rate has not gone an additional 5% since the election we conducted there. So we should start asking ourselves, these cards that people are not collecting, what is the explanation? So that is a question that should be raised in the public domain, which actually is not being raised. So the key point I am making is that if you say a priori that you must have this percentage number of cards collected before you can do an election, then logically you can't fix a date for an election until you have reached that percentage of collection.
Now, Prof, if I could get
yes.
the engineer Akeem to perhaps tell us, because it seems there is an issue with people actually collecting their PVC, is INEC doing anything in terms of just educating people and making sure that people know exactly where their cards are, how to collect them? And if so, can you tell us exactly what you're doing?
It's already been done. We started by allocating 3 days for collection. When we moved a step further in decentralizing the collection to the ward level, and that is where it is. Since then, the Commission has been extending the collection period. Now it's going up to 22nd. So the collection is down to the ward level to make it easier for voters to collect their cards. Going down to the polling unit, the chairman said some time back, is another very expensive exercise. But at the ward level, we have noticed an appreciable improvement.
Now, I know you have, for example, information centers in places like Abuja and the major cities. And so the question is, for the people in the rural part of Nigeria, for example, are there areas where they can sort of go to, or telephone numbers that they can contact that are localized to their own area so that they can get information from INEC?
No, it's been well publicized. Like in Abuja, the FCD came up with the names of the locations where you can go. And these ward levels, these locations at the ward level, we believe are quite, the proximity is quite nice enough for people who have been informed that their cards are available for collection.
Okay, now we will get a chance, obviously, to take questions from more people in the hall, but I'd like to now open up the conversations to Nigerians who are not here with us in the hall. And so, Mercy, please talk to us.
Professor Jega, you have questions from Nigerians in Lagos, Maiduguri, Jos, Ibadan, and the questions keep coming in. But I'll start with those that are writing on our Facebook page. Nwabune Christian is asking, why is it that some local governments in Lagos State, like Oshodi, Isolo, Alimosho, Kosofe, Ikorodu, etc., are yet to receive their PVCs? That's from Nwabune. Val Daliyok from Jos says, those of us in Fuawei, Rayfield, Jos South local government, and so many other local governments in Plateau State are yet to see our PVCs. Talk less of collecting them. Please, when are we getting our PVCs? Yusuf Ademola is writing in from Oyo. Sorry, I want to take 5 questions, then have you respond to them before I take them one after the other. Yusuf Ademola is writing in from and says, sir, the entire registered voters in my polling unit, Ibadan Northeast local government area of Oyo